and it's all easy to. If you want to pan in, there we go. That's actually a little bit better. All right, cool. Thanks. Good.
Yeah.
And you see a red light, right?
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, you're playing One Tantumera. Is that what it is? It's called?
Yeah.
There was an old joke by some old comedians where they would sing there's Americans that knew no Spanish, and they thought it was 1 ton tomato. I ate a 1 ton tomato. So I always think of that, yeah.
That's funny.
So we're speaking with the general manager here on WRGW, obviously George Washington University Radio, and I was shocked at the variety of genres that you offer.
We have almost, I can imagine every genre. We have shows that focus primarily on Spanish music. We have shows that will do everything in the world. We have some that focus on like 1960s blues and jazz. We have some that focus on DC music alone. And then we also have 3 other departments. We have news, sports, and talk.
So you cover the gambit.
We do.
Indeed. So if anything goes on of importance, politically or something like that, you'll cover that as well.
We will. So the only at GW debate is tomorrow evening, being held by the GW Dems and GW Republicans, and that's between Barney Frank and Dana Perino, and we'll be live streaming that.
Really, Barney Frank is still around? Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so we'll be live streaming that. We cover all of the essay debates and essay elections for the Student Association. We've covered events at the 930 Club. We live streamed the concert there back in January. So yeah, and we travel with the men's and women's basketball team. We cover the men's baseball team.
That's a lot of. So are those different channels, or how do you do?
So we do have different channels, just in case. So we have 3, but we usually end up only using 2, which we call our extended play. So we have our mainstream, and then whenever there are events going on at the same time, that's when we'll break out the other stream.
Okay. So now things have evolved since I was in school, which was the 80s, admittedly. So I see you doing a remote broadcast here today from your laptops.
Yep.
So you can control the music, and is there any announcing, or is it commercials, or anything like that?
Yeah, so what we're doing here today is we're just DJing. We do broadcast frequently from different locations, and we're going to be doing a few shows from here in the museum now that they've opened. We've done events from Thurston Hall, which is the freshman dorm, trying to get people involved. Yeah.
I love your life. I mean, I want to be you. I mean, seriously, I miss those days of being in college, etc. So,
college radio is where it's at.
Who decides what music to play? Is that part of your?
So the people who play the music decide their own music, pretty much. Some college radio stations have their music director curate almost everything. Others have a mix where there's a suggested monthly list where you get new releases or local releases, and you say everyone on their show has to play 1 or 2 songs from this list. But frequently that's only certain genres. So if you have, say, like a country music show, that might not fit, or some people even play classical music, and that might not fit. So what we do now is we just tend to let people play what they want to play, as long as it's radio friendly.
Yeah, it's got nice. I mean, there's got to be parameters for everything, right?
Yeah.
There's something offensive or misogynist.
We still follow the FCC regulations.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that means no Howard Stern or Don Imus or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, lastly, if someone from off campus wants to enjoy this, and is there a way they can do that?
Absolutely. So we are online. We are at gwradio.com, and you can listen to us essentially 24/7, but we're only live from 8 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Good. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking it. Obviously, you're planning on using this somehow in your future endeavors when you leave school, right?
Yeah. Well, the plan for me is to produce concerts and festivals.
What about Sweet Life? What do you think of that? That came out of the Sweet Green
Yeah, I like Sweet
model.
Life. I like Sweet Life. I'm partially biased because I do some work for the 930 Club, which is one of their partners.
So who is that? IMP or?
Yeah, IMP owns 930 Club and operates Merriweather.
Yeah, Merriweather Post Pavilion, a large venue in Columbia, Maryland, etc.
18,000.
Okay, so but you're going to do your own. You think something out there that hasn't been done already?
I don't know. There are so many festivals now. I've been reading some articles that even include kind of the festival bubble, saying that there's too much going on and that people are going to kind of get burnt out. But I don't think that's ever really going to happen with live music. People always want to see something in person.
Okay. Well, obviously the numbers are going to pay off, and if someone's buying tickets, that means it's supply and demand. They're going to still want to see it. Okay. Any particular performers that you know of locally that you'd love to see? Any musicians that you wanted to sort of promote right now? That you really think is
so Baby Bri and the Apologists is one of my favorite local punk bands. Kind of Paper House, The Sea Life, North Country. There are tons of great musicians in DC.
Wow, I wish I knew who any of those were, but I know what you mean. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
a lot of people come to DC and they expect, you know, it's kind of like stuffy old town with people that just work for Congress and that's kind of it.
You know better than
But
that.
no, there is a very strong music community going back to the punk scene in the 80s, the blues and jazz scene in the 20s even. It's very rich and vibrant.
So DC has a lot of homegrown music that
Yes.
ranges all genres of American and
Absolutely.
international stuff
Yeah.
by virtue of the fact that we have an embassy here for everything, right?
Exactly, yeah.
You know, go-go is not the only thing that goes on here, for God's sake, please.
Yeah.
Even though that's good.
Yeah.
But in good, I'm glad to hear that you have something that you like, and I can listen to some of the things that you have and learn some things.
Absolutely.
You know, so I'm all for it. So and the price is right too. That's the other thing, right?
Yeah, we are free to listen to. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I really appreciate your hospitality, and we're looking forward to listening to more. And we want to see you here in the future, right?
Yeah, that's the plan.
And again, your name is,
Jordan Grobe.
and how did you get to do this?
I've always known that radio was one of my passions in music. My grandfather was the voice of the New York Times on the radio for 40 some odd years, WQXR. So I came to GW, joined the station right away, and in my third year became general manager, and I'm happy to do it again.
You look good, man, by the way. I just want
Thank
to
you.
compliment you on your style.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure you're employable, as they say, out there in the real world, so congratulations.
Let's hope
All right. And props to our associate. What's his name?
Anur.
He's helping out today.
Yeah, he's helping out on the camera.
Yeah, he's got it. It's real steady. I can tell. He knows what he's doing. All right. Thank you again very much.
Yeah,
All
no worries.
Okay, so we had the red light the whole